In Bali, culture is a living cosmology, a world where life and death are not endpoints, but movements within a sacred cycle. This cycle is governed by ritual, by energy, and by a profound sense of collective responsibility. Beyond the vibrant processions and the famous cremation ritual of there exist mortuary traditions that are far more intense. These are rituals that confront death directly, transforming grief into movement, sound, and a raw physical force. One of the most striking is known as Mesbes Bangke, which literally means to tear the corpse. But this is not an act of violence. It is a powerful cultural mechanism designed to rupture sorrow, to sever attachment, and to release the lingering spiritual weight that holds a soul to this world, while often associated with the village of Tuban. The tradition of ritually tearing the corpse originates in Banjar Buruan, Tampaksiring. Tuban's own rituals express a parallel philosophy, but through a dramatic, ritualized seizure and contestation of the body. In the Balinese Hindu worldview, the human body is formed from the Panca Maha Bhuta, 5 great elemental forces of earth, water, fire, air, and space. Death demands that these elements be returned to the universe swiftly. This frees the soul from its earthly vessel and allows it to continue its journey. It's believed that excessive mourning, the deep emotional attachment of the living, can bind the soul and delay its liberation. So, ritual intensity becomes a necessary rupture, a way to break the bonds that love alone cannot release. Think back to a time before modern preservation methods. A body might remain in the village for days, and the natural process of decay would set in, producing not only an odor, but what was felt as a spiritual heaviness. Mesbes Bangke emerged as both a pragmatic and deeply symbolic response to this. To counteract the stillness and silence of death, the community responds with its opposite. Noise replaces silence. Motion replaces stillness. Through collective excitement, the senses are overwhelmed. Joy and energy are cultivated to overpower fear and sorrow. But the body itself is never exposed or harmed. What is torn are the outer layers of woven mats and decorative cloth that swathe the corpse. This act symbolizes the final destruction of a person's worldly identity, tearing away the material self. As the ritual intensifies, participants often enter altered states of consciousness. They are driven not by individual intent, but by a powerful collective energy, a phenomenon sociologists call collective effervescence. The entire community moves as one. In the village of Tuban, this ritual manifests as a physical struggle over the body. Different groups from the community pull it in opposing directions. This forceful confrontation is believed to extract any remaining negative energy and repel disruptive spiritual forces, known as Bhuta Kala. Here, chaos is not feared, it is weaponized through noise, movement, and force. Malevolent energies are displaced, clearing a path for the soul's safe passage. Amidst this intense activity, one rule is absolute. The body must never touch the ground. To do so would contaminate the sacred earth and require extensive and difficult purification rites. The carriers, therefore, must hold firm with immense strength and focus. Modernity has brought adaptations to ensure the tradition survives. Today, the body is wrapped in many layers of cloth and plastic, reinforced with a bamboo framework and bound with iron chains. These chains don't restrain the devotion of the people. They protect it. They allow the chaos to remain symbolic and intensely energetic without causing physical disintegration. This practice stands in stark contrast to another famous Balinese tradition, the open-air burials of Trunyan village. Their bodies are laid to rest under the sacred Taru Menyan tree, which miraculously neutralizes odors, allowing for silent decomposition. Mesbes Bangke confronts the same biological truth, but through human noise and force. It shows there isn't just one way to handle death, but many cultural solutions. Participation, however, is strictly for the community. Outsiders observe from a respectful distance without the ancestral bonds that tie a person to the deceased and the land. Involvement would fracture the ritual's purity and invite spiritual imbalance. After the procession, the raw intensity gives way to a quiet exhaustion. What remains is not horror, but a profound sense of relief. Grief has been shared, fragmented, and dissolved into collective strengths. Only now, after worldly attachment has been so forcefully severed, can the final cremation take place. The fire completes its work, returning the body fully to the cosmos. Mesbes Bangke reveals a radical truth that liberation sometimes requires disruption, and that even love may need to express itself with ferocity. In Bali, death is not hidden away. It is confronted, it is transformed, and it is released so that the soul may travel unburdened and the living may remain whole.